Hello, dear class 7 students. Welcome back to our science class. So, today we will start and discuss about lesson 7, and the name of the lesson would be physical and chemical change. So, you can all turn to page 58 to 67. Now, students, in this chapter, we are going to discuss about the physical change and chemical change. Now, there are many changes around us, right? In everyday life, in our surrounding, we see there are many changes around us. So, students, so far in your lower classes, in class 6, you have learned about reversible and irreversible change, right? Now, for reversible means, let's take example, stretching a rubber band. When you stretch a rubber band, again, when you leave it, it goes back to its original position. So that is an example of reversible change, right? But what about this? We can see different stages of development of human, right? From baby to a little boy, and then like from a teenager, adult, till it become a man, right? So students, this type of change here, what changes do we see here? Here we see there is a change in size, right? In this picture, we can see a change in size. The size have changed. It's the same living being, it's the same human, but we can see that there is a change in size. And it cannot be reversed back, right? If you just look back, maybe 5 years back, you were in class 2, right? So you were very small back then. But now, if you look at yourself now, you are big. So this size cannot be reversed back, right? So far you have learned about reversible and irreversible change. But students, do you know the changes that we see around us we classify into two parts, that is a chemical and physical change. And today in this lesson we are going to discuss in detail about this physical and chemical change. Now, I would like to show you three changes here, okay? So in this first picture, we can see that the ice, right, which is in solid state, is changing into a liquid state. Melting take place here. Now here, when the water boils, you can see that water boils and is changing its states. We can see the water vapor here, right? Now, here we can see the firewood, right, is burning. So in all these three pictures, we can see there is a changing take place, right? Because here the change in it is converting from solid to liquid state. We have studied about different states of matter, right? So we have three states, that is solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state. So here solid changes into a liquid state, right? Now here a liquid is changing into a vapor state, gaseous state, right? And here what is happening here? The firewood, after burning, after everything is burned up, what we will see? We'll see a pile of ash, right? So now this is another new substance which is being formed. So altogether, all these changes, we classify them into physical and chemical change. So when we say physical change, dear students, physical change means those changes where no new substance are formed. Okay? Physical change means those changes where no new substance are formed. And when we say chemical change means those changes where new substance are formed. Okay? Where new substance are formed. Now, physical change, generally they are reversible. Okay, but yes, there are some change which are irreversible. Now, in chemical change, it is irreversible. Okay, so we will discuss one by one in detail. So students, to discuss about a physical change, I will give you example of this picture here. Now, students, if you look at this picture, you will say that it is a pepper, right? Because students, here we have a piece of paper, right? And now with this paper, with the help of this paper, we can make all these funny things, right? We all try it like during our leisure time, right? We make all these boards, we try to make different things. Now students, here we can see that the shape is changing, right? The size is changing from the original paper. But what at the end of the day, we can see that all these three are same paper. And we can get back the original position if we unfold, right? So to understand physical change, students, you have to know what are physical property. When I say physical property, it means the size, shape, okay? Properties such as size, properties such as shape, properties such as state and color. All these are physical property, okay? Let me repeat all the physical property. Those are shape, size, state, and color. Size, we have discussed, right? Shape, as we can see here, we see all different shape. And state, we have discussed that we have three states of matter: solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state. And color, right? We can just take a sketch pen and we can draw any color here, right? But at the end of the day, all these three are paper. So if there is any change in this physical property, okay, let me repeat. If there is any change in the physical property, such as the state, such as color, size, okay, and shape, then we say it's a physical change. And like I've said, in physical change, we don't get any new substance. Okay, we don't get any new substance. So here, when we take a piece of paper, we can convert this piece of paper into any shape. We can make all these different shape and funny things. But at the end of the day, we see that this is all at the end, it is a paper, right? It is still a paper. Okay, it is still a paper. Though we see that they will be different in their shape, in their size, they are still paper. So it is a physical change. Okay? So to understand physical change more in details, in your textbook, there are many activities. Okay? So we will see all these activities one by one. So students, you can take pencil and also mark along with me, okay? Now, the first activity regarding physical change, we have this. Now you can see this is a paper. Okay, this is a paper. Now what you can do is you can cut this paper into 4 parts like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So into 4 square shape. Okay, so we have cut this paper into a 4 square shape. Now, again, we'll take this one part and then we'll cut into another 4 square shape. Okay? Now, after this, let's observe. We see that students, the size have changed, right? The shape has changed. But did we get any new substance? Did we get any new substance? No. It is still a paper. So yes, here we see that there are some changes in the physical properties such as the size and such as shape, but we did not get any new substance. So this is an example of a physical change. Now let's see another activity, our second activity. So students, this is the second activity for today. Okay? So you can have a look at all this picture here. Now what is this? This is chalk. You see this chalk every day in school, right? In the classroom. Now, students, what we will do is we will crush this chalk. Okay? will crush this chalk like this into a powdery form. Okay? So first, what do we need? We need a chalk. Second, we will crush this chalk in a powder form. Third, what we'll do? We will put a little bit of water like this, okay? So that we can make a paste. So we are adding a little water here so that we can make a paste. And then, after that, the last thing what you have to do is we will roll, okay? We'll roll this with our finger like this in the shape and size of a chalk. Okay? After making a paste, after adding water, we will roll, we'll take this in our hand and then we'll roll this into the shape and size of a chalk. Now what do we see? After cooling down, we see that we get another chalk. So from here, we know that yes, it has undergone some changes with its size, right, with its shape. But at the end of the day, it is still a chalk. We did not get any new substance. And if we do not get any new substance, that is an example of physical change. Okay? That is an example of physical change. So just we will see changes in a physical properties, but no new substance will be formed. Now, we will see another activity here, the third activity here. So you can have a look, students. So in this first glass of water, in this first glass, we have put some ice cube, okay? Ice. So students, it is in what state? It is in solid state, right? It is in solid state. Now, students, what do we have to do? Now, we will not keep this in a refrigerator, but we are going to take this glass where we have filled some ice cube and we will place and face this towards the sun. Okay, towards the sun. Now, what will happen? The solid change to a liquid state, right? We'll see that here there is again the change of state take place from solid to liquid. Melting take place. So we can see that there is a change in the physical, in the size, right? We can see that there's a change in the state. Okay? So from solid to liquid, it is a change of state. Okay? Now this is in liquid form, but now if we keep in the refrigerator, what will happen? Again, it will change, it will convert from the liquid state to solid state, right? So at the end of the day, it is just H2O, but in different state. Okay? So here, it shows another example of physical change, that there is a change in state, but we are not getting any new substance. And these are all reversible. Right? So students, now, after this three activity, okay, after all this three activity, I'm sure you are clear with physical change. Okay? So before we moved to a chemical change, let's recall what we have discussed about a physical change. A physical change is a change where we'll see change in physical properties such as the size, state, color, and shape. And it is a type of change where no new substance are formed. And you can give any example. You can give n number of examples. You can give examples from this three activity as well. Okay? So students, now the next topic is chemical change. Chemical change. Now, chemical change is a change where a new substance are formed. Okay, a new substance are formed. Now here, we are not going to get the original substance. Let's take example. This is a paper, right? This is a paper. Now paper, after we burn, what happens? Do we get the paper back? Do we get the paper back? No, we do not get the original paper back. Because now paper, after burning, it has changed to another substance. That means we got a new substance. Okay, so here chemical reaction take place. In a chemical change, a chemical reaction take place. Now, another example here. This is a firewood. Now we all make fire, right? And we use firewood. So after burning, what happens? Do we still get the firewood? No, we get a new substance. We get a pile of ash, right? So students, in all these two examples, what we have seen is we have seen that we are getting a new substance. And in chemical change, in chemical reaction, evolution of gas take place. Okay, evolution of gas take place. Absorption of heat also take place, or release of heat also take place. Absorption of light also take place. Change in color also take place. And we are going to see all example for this. Now, before we see another activity for chemical change, dear students, are you all clear with a chemical change? A chemical change, it is a change where new substances are formed. It is irreversible because we do not get a new substance back. Okay? I'm sorry, we do not get the original substance back. We get a new substance. Okay? So we will see activities for chemical change, but you can write down example such as burning of paper and then burning of firewood. Okay? So we will see activity. Okay. So students, before we perform the first activity for the chemical change, now I'm sure this is familiar, right? This is familiar. All these pictures here, it is familiar, right? Now this is rusting of iron. Now rusting of iron, is it a physical change or a chemical change? Dear students, iron, when it is exposed to air, what happens? When it is exposed to air, it reacts with the oxygen, it reacts with the air, it reacts with the moisture in the air, and as a result, rust take place. Okay, the metal get rust, corrosion take place, and overall this process is called rusting. Okay, so this is also example of a chemical change, because we do not get the original substance back. We are getting a new substance. Okay, we are getting a new substance, and this is irreversible. Okay, because once it has changed, we do not get the original metal back. So dear students, since this is a long chapter, so we have divided this chapter into two parts. And in today's class, I have discussed about physical change and chemical change. But for the chemical change activities, which are very interesting, we will continue in our next class. Thank you.